For 10,000 years, the Galactic Council had maintained perfect order. The core worlds thrived. The midrim prospered. And the edge was forgotten. That's where they found Earth. Primitive, the survey report concluded. Pre-FTL. Conventional weapons. No psionic capability detected. Recommendation: quarantine and observe. The Council agreed. Earth became file hashtag 3.847.219 in the Colonial Assessment Database, checked once per century by automated probes. Nobody noticed when the probes stopped reporting back. Council Director Jafik was reviewing trade disputes when the emergency alert pierced through his office's harmonics. His crystalline form vibrated with irritation as he accessed the communication. This better be critical, Administrator. Sir, we've lost contact with the Viridian sector. All 72 monitoring stations. Simultaneously. Jafik's irritation crystallized into concern. Hostile action? Unknown. We're dispatching the Fifth Fleet to investigate. But, sir, the Viridian sector borders the sole quarantine zone. The primitives? Jafik pulled up the file. Last update, 2,247 cycles ago. Status, pre-contact. They shouldn't even have interplanetary capability yet. Shouldn't, sir. The Fifth Fleet never returned. Neither did the Third, the Ninth, or the hastily assembled Coalition Armada. The last transmission from Fleet Admiral Crixvan was 8 seconds of pure static, followed by a single phrase in heavily accented galactic standard. You should have said hello. They came on the anniversary of first contact. 100 years to the day since the Council had decided Earth wasn't worth their attention, human ships materialized simultaneously above every core world capital. Not warships. Not yet. Just there, hanging in orbit like a sword that hadn't fallen. Jafik stared at the vessel above Crystallis Prime. It was massive, 10 times larger than the Council's dreadnoughts, and its hull seemed to drink in light rather than reflect it. Scanners couldn't penetrate it. Weapons locks slid off its surface like water. The communication came in every language simultaneously, broadcast across every channel, impossible to block or trace. Hello, Galactic Council. Humanity requests an audience. The voice was female, calm, almost friendly. It terrified Jafik more than any threat could have. This is Council Director Jafik. You've committed acts of war against. We've committed acts of self-defense, the voice interrupted. Your monitoring stations were armed. Your fleets attacked first. We responded proportionally. Proportionally? You destroyed. We disabled. Every ship you sent can be repaired. Every crew member is alive in stasis. We could have done much worse. A pause. Your records say we're primitive. Pre-FTL. Nocionic capability. Your reports were incomplete. On every Council world, the human ships projected the same image, Earth. Not as it had been, but as it was now. Massive orbital structures. Ships that defied known physics. And around it, a ring of energy that pulsed with something the Council's best scientists couldn't classify. What are you? Jafik whispered. You quarantined us because we were dangerous, aggressive, warlike. You were right to be cautious. The voice carried something now, not quite anger but close. But you made a mistake. You assumed we'd stay dangerous in the same way, that we'd develop like you did. We followed standard protocol. You ignored us for 10,000 of your cycles. 100 years of ours. The human ships moved closer, perfectly synchronized. Do you know what humanity does with a century of isolation? When we know we're being watched, but not contacted. When we realized the galaxy saw us and decided we weren't worth their time. The energy readings from Earth's ring spiked. Every sensor in the core worlds screamed warnings. We wondered if you were afraid of us, or if you just didn't care. So we made a choice. The voice hardened. We'd make ourselves impossible to ignore. What do you want? Jafik asked, fighting to keep his harmonic steady. What we've always wanted. What you denied us by treating us like a problem to be contained rather than a people to be known. The ships began broadcasting on every frequency, in every language, to every world. We want a seat at the table. We want our voice heard. We want to be part of the galaxy that refused to acknowledge we existed. And if we refuse? Silence. Then, Director Jafik, we've had 100 years to think about this moment. 100 years of asking ourselves, what do we do if they say no? The human ship's weapons systems activated, not targeting anything, just existing. We really, really hope you don't say no. Jafik looked at the readings again, at the impossible ships, at the energy signatures that broke every known law of physics, at the species the Council had dismissed as primitive savages. Emergency session, he transmitted to the Council. Full attendance. Immediately. Sir, what do we tell them? Jafik watched the human ship above his world, felt the weight of 10,000 years of galactic order hanging by a thread. We tell them yes. We tell them welcome. And we pray to every deity in the core that we haven't made an enemy we can't afford to have. The human voice came back, warmer now. Thank you, Director. We'll see you at the Council chambers. Oh, and Director, we've been listening to your transmissions for a century. We know you were just following orders. This isn't personal. The ships vanished, folding space in ways that shouldn't be possible. Jafik stood alone in his office, harmonics trembling. The galaxy's edge had been quiet. They made sure of that. Now it was awake, and it had learned from being ignored.